Trading Podcast. We're glad you're here with us today, 10 o'clock Central Time. We're in Fort Worth, Texas. You see Randy on the screen there. Our two other gentlemen should be joining us in here in a little bit. One, Tim, has a mechanical problem with his computer. He probably will not going to be here. He wasn't able to attend the first session this morning, and but he said he was going to try to be here. But besides Randy, and Randy's our covered call man, and everybody knows Randy's been around here for a long time. And we got Deshaun, our new member of our team, and Micah, and they'll be here, but they always kind of get here a few minutes late. So anyhow, the market is really down today. Let me go over and look at it real quick. It's down. The Dow is down 474 points. S&P's down 45.5, and NASDAQ is down 109.25. Do we care? No. Randy doesn't even care. It doesn't make any difference to him either. And he's going to explain.
No, I didn't even realize the Dow was down 400 because I just been watching the charts and looking at my watch list. So.
Yeah. Well, we had a real slow day on our first session, our micro moment trading yesterday. Real slow. In fact, we didn't do anything. We're up, though. We had a good day today, 12.32% or so on about 6 trades, Microsoft and SPY. And for the week as of a few minutes ago, we're up 56.02% for the micro moment. As you know, this is the almost the end of the 65th week, and we've averaged 93.46% a week for all those weeks. Prior to that, we were doing the same technique for a couple of years, but we didn't have it as a subscription service. So, given that, Randy, bring us up to date. I know you've already had a good day today, and explain what you do. Let me one more thing. Go to our website, www.micromomenttrading.com, and check out. You can find out everything Randy does. There's a full explanation, just like the old. It's got all the same information used to be on the old website for compound stock earnings, and it's a description of everything, how you can sign up for all his services, so on and so forth, as you can for everything else we do. But okay, Randy, go ahead.
Did you tell them about the cow report?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sign up for that cow report. That's a free weekly kind of newsletter email that Joe sends out and gives you all kinds of information. So it's free. Might as well sign up for it. Well, I do lots of stuff, as you know, Joe. I teach 3 different webinars every week, in addition to just doing all kinds of trading views and all the different types of techniques that are taught here. And the micro moment trading, which is what Tim and Micah will be talking about, or I guess it'll just be Tim today, not Micah, unless he gets his computer fixed.
Well, we just found out Deshaun couldn't be here because he had to go to the dentist. He had a dinner appointment.
Means Micah's going to have to shoulder the whole weight then for the micro moment trading.
He's not there. He's not here yet either. So,
but I did a micro moment trading on my own this morning, and you know I trade SPX, and that's different than what Deshaun and Micah and Tim, because the charts are for whatever equity that you want to use. You just want to make sure it's got lots of trading that's going on, and it has appropriate options. And Micah teaches all that. But I did just one trade this morning. It was actually only lasted 15 seconds, Joe. So I guess I must be getting, much, much younger now as time goes on. Having to stay indoors and all that stuff. Maybe I'm getting younger instead of older.
So the folks listening will know what I always say. These are 15, 16-second trades. And Randy has his version of the micro moment trade, but it's slower because he's an old man. And and usually, maybe his trades are, 30 seconds to 30 minutes, something like that.
Yeah,
same concept. He worked out. It's just fantastic returns. Go ahead, Randy.
This one was 2.1% return in 15 seconds, and then it continued. It continued to go, and but I just like to take a quick profit. I don't just stay in it for as long as possible, because especially these days, the market's crazy. I mean, it can totally reverse in a second, just based on some kind of information or some kind of report or some kind of tweet or some kind of action. So you have to really be on your toes and take your profits when they're there. Don't get greedy. And I don't get greedy. I just say, hey, 2%, that's great for me. I don't try to get 40, 50, 60% on these trades. If I want to get more, I just do more trades. But anyway, so that's the micro moment. I don't teach that. That's what Micah and Tim and Deshaun do. I teach. There's Micah. Hey, how you doing? I was talking about my 15-second micro moment trade this morning.
I heard it, man. That's
right. 15 seconds. But anyway, on Mondays I have a teaching webinar for our advanced charting, where we teach momentum trading. And advanced charting is a proprietary chart. It's a set of, I think there's 21. I haven't counted them lately, but I think there's 21 technical indicators that are all rolled into one chart. And I teach how to effectively read that chart. It becomes really easy to read once you learn how to read it. And I teach you how to do that on Mondays. And then we look for what we call a momentum trade. And a momentum trade is entering a call at the beginning of the rising cycle, so that the chart lets us see when is the beginning of that rising momentum, and we buy a call and then sell it for a 5% profit. And that's what usually takes a day or two. Joe must have been listening to Dr. What's his name, Gauci or whatever his name is.
Fauci or whatever name.
Fauci. Fauci. You got your face shield now.
Well, you never know. You never know when you're going to run into a computer virus.
There you go.
There's
been computer viruses for a long time. We didn't know we needed to wear the face shields, but now there's the coronavirus. But
now the screens are better and they more realistically show you what's going on. So I can only imagine that the virus. Yeah.
So that's one of the services that I teach. In addition to that, I teach covered calls. Yeah. So covered calls, for those that don't know what a covered call is, it's buying a stock and selling a call against it. And when you sell a call, you give the right to somebody else to buy your stock at a set price up to a set date. And they pay you money for that right. They may never buy your stock, but you get paid anyway right up front. That's what a covered call is. And the covered call, the way we teach it, being in the money covered call for a positive called return, it allows income to be generated, profits to be made, whether the stock goes up, down, or up sideways or slightly down. And that's what the benefit is. It's a conservative trading technique if you want to invest in the market. So you get paid, and you can get paid on a weekly basis for basically renting out your stock. And so I teach that process on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And in addition to that, I teach an advanced covered call technique where we use synthetic covered calls, and where instead of having to buy the stock for $100 a share or $80 or $50, we can buy an option that gives us the right to buy the stock at a set price up to a set date. And then we can sell options against that option and make it be a covered call. And
just like the stock.
Yeah, and it's just like managing the stock, but it's with a lot less capital. And because the investments are like 90 cents a share or $2 a share, and that's all that has to get invested in order to do the synthetic covered calls. And then during that service, I use my own live positions to teach with. So instead of just making up examples or saying, here's what you could have done 14 years ago, or last summer, if you would have done this, you would have had this huge return. That's what a lot of people talk about. I just say, here's what I'm doing right now. And you get to see exactly what's going on. You're watching over my shoulder, and then you can follow along every trade in your virtual trading platform as you're learning. So you're not even risking any money. You're learning out there in the market with no risk, and learning how to generate your income.
And when people subscribe to your service, they get these emails, what Micah calls prepping, sort of.
Prepping,
Micah, we'll talk about that in a minute. But you get these emails that says, I'm getting ready to enter Exxon, this stock, this price, and all that kind of stuff. And it gives them a chance to do that virtually or however they want to do it. And then those come out in the Cal report. Every single transaction you do comes out in the Cal report at the end. You get it at the end of every Friday, and you can sit there and you can see all those trades. And so you're doing tons of trades, and people know exactly what you do, and you're explaining it. And then you've got all these seminars where we explain stuff. So
and one of the even bigger benefits of the process, and Joe started the process way back when. I just kind of refined it and tweaked it some. But the big thing that really separates us from anyone else out there in the market teaching anything is the management techniques. And the management techniques, what we call the management process, is if the stock goes down more than we had planned it to go down, we have a process to continually to manage, keep that position in place. Don't sell it for a loss. Keep it in place and keep generating income week after week after week until we get back out of it with all of the invested capital back. And that process normally only takes a week extra on top of the initial week. So like last week, I got to get my screen up here. So last week, positions that were actually opened and closed in the same week, Microsoft, I got now this is with all the capital that's invested back in addition to 5.4% return. I only had $2.37 a share invested. Now Microsoft's trading at $200, but I only had to invest $2.37 a share. Amazon, 38.8% return. That was $3.60 invested. Now Amazon is a $3,000 stock. Most people can't invest in Amazon. They just don't have enough money to buy stock that costs $3,000. This was 38.8% return in a week at only $3.60 a share invested. And then SPY, which is the ETF for the S&P 500, 9.8% return. That was just for one day, 91 cents a share invested. Well, one day. I entered it on Friday and closed it on Monday. So it's one trading day, but if you want to count calendar days, it would have been 3 days of investment. So, but now last week, if anyone was watching the market, you know, it wasn't a really good week for the market as far as going up. It mostly went down, right? So those were positions that I was able to close out for my profit and get all of the money back that I invested last week. Three positions that I entered last week, I had to carry over to this week with management. That's what we call management, is carrying them over, generating additional income. I've already closed those out this week. I'm not waiting until expiration tomorrow because who knows what's going to happen with this market. So I had CRWD, which is I think crowdsource or something like that. They do cloud stuff. That was 4.9% return in 1 week. So that was one that went down substantially. I think it dropped $15 or $16 per share last week. Now it's recovered some this week. It's come back up $4 or $5. But I was able to get out of the position with all of my invested capital plus 4.9% return, even though it's not even back near where it started when I entered the position. Moderna.
What kind of leverage do you think you're getting when you're using these long out options there to replace the stock? Would you say 98% or 90% or
well,
about
like
90%?
Yeah, like Moderna had 90 cents a share invested, and it's $100 stock.
Okay.
So it's like 1%. Yeah, it's 95, 98%.
Which is a heck of a lot better.
That's not borrowing any money.
Yeah, that's not using margin. No margin involved, so you're not borrowing money. In fact, we say, and like Micah says, you never use margin when you're doing the micro moment or your covered call stuff either way. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then Apple, 15% return, 1 week of investment. Now, if you looked at Apple last week, it was trading at like $385. It went down to like in the 350s, and now it's back up to 370 something. Well, I had it. It dropped below where I entered it. I managed it, got it into this week, and got a return with all the invested capital back because of the process that I teach on Wednesday mornings. And then AMD, which is one of the chip manufacturers, Advanced Micro, I think it's called. That was 8.8% return, 1 day of investment this week, in on Tuesday, out on Wednesday. And then Qualcomm, which is one of the big communications chips, they're in like all the phones and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. That was 11.1% return. I entered it yesterday, closed it out this morning. 100% of the capital return plus 11.1% income profit, only 1 day of investment. So so those are kind of like my micro moment tradings, Micah. They last a day.
What's so funny
But they're
is
covered calls, so
Yeah.
it actually is lowering the risk in that position.
Yeah. Let me say, if people want to make a comment or something, just type it in, and we'll read it out. We'll pull it up here. We got several. Gonna get here in a minute.
Here's a good comment. Larry said, "How's my baseball team doing?"
There you go.
I got to give my baseball update, right?
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah.
We won our game on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
I think it was 13-8, so it was a little bit high scoring game. I pitched 3 of the innings, and I was 2 for 3 at bat. We are leading the league. We are in first place in our division, and then first place if you look at both divisions together. We're also the best. We're 6-1 now, and so we're looking to not lose anymore the rest of the year. So we'll see how it goes. The one they lost was before I started playing again this year. So.
Well, I think what is neat about what you're doing and how many people it helps, because y'all typically will find a baseball court around a nursing home.
Yeah.
That helps out a lot, right? Well, congratulations. That's good. That's good.
We're all old guys out there. We just look around for the walkers and stuff,
There you go, right there. Oh, you can hit those baseballs with a walker. Yeah, long.
You probably could.
Yeah, you can do it.
But
yeah. What the difference between what Randy does? He has a book. He has a book about 3 inches thick. When people take the full seminar, they get that book. And now it used to be physically. Now it's via electronics. But he has so many different things he can do to keep maintaining and making money on a position that's gone up, down. He can get out of it when it goes down. He can get out of it when it goes up. He can go side. So many things to do. Where Micah over here doesn't have a manual. We don't have a manual at all. He has one great technique. When you see that sucker turn red, you get out of it. And the speed at which you get out of it, and you don't dilly-dally around, you don't speculate that it's going to change on you, because if you do, you're going to lose. And so he'll describe that in just a second. But it's a totally opposite technique. Now, we've still got people that have been going to Randy's seminars and use this technique for the last 20 years. Randy's been teaching at 16 or 17. And so this is nothing new. I mean, this is good stuff, but it's been improved by the CBOE has continuously rendered decisions that have benefited our technique. Never once have they done anything that was adversary to it. And all the trading platforms and the commissions, some have no commissions, but they're certainly cheaper than they used to be. When I was with E-Trade, it's like $30 a whack. And now I don't know if they have commissions, but now Micah's got the interesting technique here. It is fast, and people love it. And he has the same kind of leverage that Randy has, so he's not using margin, so he's getting really a lot of power and compounding everything. Why don't you take it over, Mike, and kind of let them know?
Yeah, so micro moment trading is based on very short-term trades. It's based on real-time momentum. We'll trade anywhere from 15 seconds to about a minute and a half max, and we are playing real-time moves that end up expanding. So we have different ways of filling into moves, and different ways to read the proprietary charting that we have that allows us to not have to predict. We don't have to speculate. We don't have to wonder if it's going to go up or down. We see what it's doing right now, and there are safe ways to play that real-time movement and overcome your spread and things like that. So that's what we teach at Micro Moment, and it's been going really well. We're well over a year now. We have had a lot of clients graduate that are now doing it on their own and still successful with it. It's cool. They stop back in sometimes on this podcast and say hi. We always appreciate that. But yeah, it's been really great. Lots of engagement. Today was one of the first times we had too many questions. We couldn't actually get to them all.
You didn't get to, I always have to leave early on Thursdays to come to this thing a little earlier. Yeah. And well, that was a lot of questions in. Huge.
They sped up more than that. Yeah, it kept going. They were rolling faster than I had to stop the chat so I could read them. So I have to get a moderator here soon or something like that.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out when it comes. It's great to see all the engagement, and and people learn through asking questions. So the ability to do that is really a cool is really a cool thing to see, and we've had a lot of new clients this week as well, and some of them have already made this trade, getting the feel for it. So
that's so exciting. We always ask, who's his first day or second day? And we always have one or more people, and then a lot of them end up making a profit that day, which is fantastic. It must really excite them, because you can also do it on paper. You don't have to go out there and risk real money until you become used to it. But it's quite a technique, and Mike is particularly good at it, along with Deshaun and Tim, and so it's just great. And the what you don't do is something like, and it was a kidding question today. We took it kind of serious, and then he corrected us for taking it serious. But Kodak, remember Kodak went up the last couple of days 1,400% or something like that, and so he just jumped in there. Well, what do you think about Kodak? Should we be in Kodak right now? I thought, no. Answered back to him, no, you shouldn't. That's speculation. That's day trader stuff. Don't do that. Blah blah blah. Because number one, Mike is not taking any risk. He's using SPX index, and he's using today use Microsoft, and Tim uses QQQ, and so they're using big name stocks. It doesn't make any difference. They're all going to move. That's all we're playing with is the movement, not worrying if the stock's going to go up or down. So we turn on the computer in the morning. It doesn't make any difference to us if it's going up or down. So
because of how far zoomed in we are. One thing I'm really noticing about this technique is, as you learn it, you get to understand options and how the option chain works, how a bid ask really works at the finest level. We're staring at it every second, and there's multiple updates per second. So we're going sub-second granularity on these things. I know it sounds way more complicated than it is, but it's just we're zooming all the way in to understand how these things work. When you take it back out to do your standard techniques, to do anything you currently do, you understand what's actually going on now. You understand why that price just did that weird thing that you don't get. Now you know the reasons for all that, and it really helps being able to understand.
Well, what helps when you subscribe to their service is that Micah and Deshaun and Tim, you have the chart up there, and this is live. They're on there live. It only lasts an hour. You don't have to be there, but it's every day, Monday through Friday, when the market's open for an hour. And they teach you that chart, and they teach you how to interpret that chart. They teach you how to find when you enter and how you enter the trades and when you exit the trades by that chart. That's it. That chart is the whole important thing. But they're doing it, and they're doing it with real money also. And so they're really fantastic teachers. They explain everything right down to the, and then you can ask any questions. We don't care. There's not a question that's too long or we're going to abbreviate or not answer, because the whole point is, if it helps one person, it's probably going to help some other people also. And they're particularly good at it. But it's really, really an interesting proprietary charting, which Randy uses to a big extent also, I think. You use that, which chart do you use? Which charting are you using over there, Randy?
Well, the advanced chart, which is a daily advanced chart, where Micah's is like multiple times in a minute. The charts that we use are refreshed every day. They're real time while you're watching them, but that doesn't move as fast as Micah's, because Micah's, the whole screen is only like an hour's worth of data work.
And people say, well, should I just do this all day and ask questions? Actually, no. You can spend more time on Randy's, but on these micro moments, that hour a day is all you need to do, and you'll become an extremely wealthy person. If you just made $2,000, put $2,000 into an account, and just trade it virtually until you get used to it. $2,000 is 6% per week. Now they made twice that today, and they're up 5 times that, more than 5 times that already through Thursday. So, but if you just made 6% a week, that's going to compound. You just keep, putting new money in. We get more money in there. You just keep reinvesting it, compounding it, and in 24 months, you're going to have over $600,000 in the account, and you can do it virtually. And when you get good at it virtually, just flip that switch over and do it with real money. And don't spend more than an hour a day. If you subscribe to their service, Mike and those guys, and you only need to make 6% per week, and they're averaging 93, 94% a week. You can't help but be successful if you just, listen to them, don't speculate, do exactly, what they say, and then you'll be expert. I think we probably have maybe somebody on here to see. James, you want to pick up that James? Can you throw that James up on the screen there, Marcus? Marcus, by the way, is our engineer. You don't see him. There he is. You want to take that, Micah?
Yeah, when you micro moment trade and set up your charts, you use the 1-5-15 trading moment chart setup shown in the advanced charting techniques book. We do not. We use 1 minute charts spread across 2 ETFs and a stock usually, so that we can get kind of an overall view of the market. We do 2 ETFs, Q and SPY, on opposite sides of the screen, and then we'll have a powerhouse like Microsoft or Apple or Tesla in the middle to kind of see, this is the overall market, and this is one of the things influencing it. And that's what we usually do. So we've had so many variations, James. It changes. We adjust things. We have done that before, the 1-5-15 minute, but we have multiple traders on there now. So we want to be able to trade different things and not be talking over each other if we take the same trade. So we're trying to separate the lines of communication so every instructor can get their point across, and we don't have confusion. So.
Yeah, they come on and they say, we're prepping. Michael comes on, prepping SPY, the strike price. I'm prepping. That means he's getting it in there, and when that price hits the right price, he's going to hit the send button, and it's going to be executed. You're sitting there right with him. So but the important thing is, yeah, you can do that, but you're learning while you're doing it. That's the most important thing, and that's what he's particularly good at. All of them are too. Larry,
one of the big things that's a huge benefit with what Micah teaches, at the end of the day, you're 100% cash. There's no carryover. So it doesn't matter what happens to the market for the next day. We see these huge changes in the market before the market opens every morning. There's going to probably be a big one tomorrow because the big technology companies are announcing earnings after the market opens or closes tonight. So you're going to have the Amazons and the Apples and the Googles. They're going to announce the earnings. The market's either going to go up big or down big in the morning. With Micah's technique, there's no money at risk there. You're at cash. When you finish trading, you're done. You're 100% cash. You wait till the next day. You wait till the market opens back up before you start doing anything again. That's a huge benefit to doing the micro moment trading. Yep.
And Larry says most important thing is, Randy, what's the name of your team?
It's the Mudcats. Now, I know the Mudcats must be the name of one of the minor league teams somewhere in the country, because we always use whatever their uniforms are and things like that. I don't know which minor league team where that the Mudcats are from, but I'll have to go look at that up and see which AAA or AA team is called the Mudcats.
And I tell you what, here's a client that's been with us a long time. Hey, Joseph, good morning to see you. Joseph says good morning. Joseph, how long have you been with us? I know you were doing seminars out in California a long time ago and other places. I just type in there not how old you are, how long you've been a client. Do you remember Joseph's name there, Randy?
Yeah. It's probably been close to 7 or 8 years since we've been out there teaching in California. So he's been around a while.
Yep. Incredible. I think you, James, did you get that Micah down there? Yeah, you got that one. So, okay. Well, if anybody has any more questions, now we'll be able to cut her off here. We've been over a pretty good time. Do you have anything y'all want to add? Oh, well, no, I go to our website, Micro Moment Trading, www.micromomenttrading.com. Sign up for the Cow Report. It's free. It's been coming out for over 20 years, and it's got all the stuff that they're talking about in there, real trades, and you're not going to do you any good because they've ever been done, but you can see what kind of activity goes on, and you can see what everything costs and what events are coming up. We haven't had a lot of it. We used to have events all the time. Cruises and all kinds of things, but obviously with the since March, we've not been able to do anything. We're able to get in one micro moment real live seminar, and we sat down to about 25 people in Fort Worth, and it was great success. We had our standard free Friday when people arrived cocktail party, and then Saturday we had a big dinner, and did the seminar during the day. And then we have been not able to do one since then, but we will. They'll come back. We'll develop it online. We can probably put it off online right now, but we also have a 2-day traditional covered call and leap seminar, which all these guys participate in. And it didn't used to be that way. It used to just be me, and I didn't even have the phone thing hooked up. Now people can call in, and these guys are there to give their interpretation of the diversity that all the covered call techniques lend to and vice versa to the micro moment. And it's extremely successful. We do one every couple of months. Probably have another one scheduled here. Probably next week. It'll be in the Cali report. It won't be next week, but it'll be going out as scheduled. It'll be a month or two before it's held off again. But so go to that. Check out the Cali report. Right when you open up the website, you see where you can subscribe to the Cali report. So, and there is Roger. Go ahead, Mike. Why don't you take Roger?
Micah mentioned the name of his trading platform last week, which would automatically put his trade in so he could sell it quickly. Was the name of that platform. I use Trade Station. Trade Station is a platform I use. It doesn't quite autofill. I still have to go to the option chain and select it, but all I have to do is look at my option chain and click on the delta of the strike price I want, and it fills the rest. So it's mostly automated. You just have to set a couple settings every day. And no, we do not have a date for the advanced trading seminar yet. I don't believe. Not confirmed. Is that true, Randy?
Right. We're working towards one, and hopefully it'll be somewhere, near the end of August is what we're kind of shooting for. But whenever we get it finalized, it'll be on the website, so you can just check the website. But it's not finalized yet. We're working towards getting that date in there.
Now let me tell you something about Eleanor. I love Eleanor to death. She's my girlfriend. She's in Boston. She attended our very first Boston seminar. She and her husband, and that was a long time ago. And she's been to numerous events. Formal events we've had here in Fort Worth and in Dallas. And I think that they've been on at least one of our cruises, if not two. But Eleanor is really, really a neat person. And Roberto said, "Hey, Eleanor," he must know Eleanor too. So anyhow.
And wasn't Eleanor the name of that Mustang, that real rare Mustang in that in the show where they had to go steal 50 cars in 24 hours or something like that? And,
I don't remember that. I never even heard of that. Really?
Yeah, I think they named that car Eleanor. I think.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
it was. I don't know if it was Fast and Furious. It was one of the first. Yeah, Gone in 60 Seconds. Yeah. With Nicolas Cage.
And
they had
Shelby.
Yeah, and I think the name of that Mustang he was looking for, I think they called it Eleanor.
Yeah.
It was a very, very pretty car.
Very, very.
Yeah, it was a Shelby Mustang, right? Yeah. See, Eleanor even knows it. Eleanor even knows that it was a Shelby Mustang that was called Eleanor.
There you go, right there. Well, okay, guys. Well, if nothing else has happened, what's the market right now? Let me switch over there and see if it's gone up or down since we started this thing. I'd say it's a little better. It's only down 309 points on the Dow, 28.5 on the S&P. Yeah, there you go.
It's going all over the place. It's still climbing though, man. It's climbing no matter what.
Oh, well. Okay, well, thank you guys for being here. I'm sorry that Tim couldn't make it. I hope he gets everything fixed up. And Deshaun, I really feel sorry for him. He's at the dentist. What was it last week? What you missed this last couple of weeks or so, didn't you, Randy? Because you had to go to the dentist.
No, it was a couple of weeks ago. I was getting a root canal that day.
Oh, good Lord! Oh my goodness!
But it's been like over a month.
Yeah.
There was a question that Marcus just shot up there.
Oh, I didn't see it.
It says, Randy, I have only a small account. Can we only play platinum leaps since most of the stocks you mentioned are very expensive. Is it a lot of 100 leaps per trade? Just then, like stocks, they're not all leaps that I implement in the synthetic covered call, but they're options, and an option is equivalent to 100 shares of the underlying stock. So when I say it was 97 cents a share invested, that's times 100. So to get one contract would be $97. So the stock might be $100 a share, but the options were only $97 for one contract. So yeah, it's a lot less money that's required to implement a position than having to go out and buy the stock.
And as a result, your returns are a lot higher.
Right, because the money invested is a lot less, so therefore the percentage of return is a lot higher. So the amount of cash that you can earn is the same whether you're buying the stock or whether you're doing the synthetic covered call, but the percentage therefore is much, much higher because you're investing such a small amount with the synthetic covered call.
Micah, did you answer that Roger Vance that's up near the top there, 1029?
I believe
Yeah,
so.
yeah, he did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got that one.
Missed anybody here? I think that, you don't need any money hardly to do Micah's stuff, and you certainly you can go, the incredible leverage just like Micah has. Randy can have it too. But he, again, some people have stocks and they don't want to sell them. They want to rent them like rental property. And that's what Randy teaches them to do. You've got an expensive stock your grandmother gave you, and you just keep it and rent it. And if you're getting any dividends, you still get those dividends, and the stock's not at risk. And that's going to happen to the stock. But yeah, you're going to pick up weekly now incomes if you do Friday explorations, and you can make lots of money in addition and still keep the same stock. So that works both ways. So, okay, guys, unless y'all have something else, I'll call it today here. Did it? No. Okay. Well, thank y'all very much. And thanks for folks being on here. We'll be back at 10 o'clock next Thursday, and check out www.micromomenttrading.com. And there's all kinds of information on there about Randy's and about Micah's stuff. And call us and, write us a letter, whatever. Anyhow, thank you guys. I want to cut it off now. Okay.
Stay safe. Have a great weekend.